Hey everyone, welcome to another B Gaming video. Today, I'm very excited to talk to you about Halo Infinite thanks to the early release of multiplayer on November 15th to celebrate the 20th anniversary. This video is directed towards players either brand new to the Halo universe or who haven't played in many years and need a quick refresher before they jump back into their Spartan armor. This video will cover all the game modes we currently have access to outside of practice against AI known as Bot Bootcamp. We'll also cover the most important tips to help you and your fire team succeed, and some of the latest news about the game. Game modes for quick play include Slayer, Capture the Flag, One Flag Capture the Flag, Strongholds, and Oddball. The ranked playlist is identical to this list with the exception of not having the One Flag Capture the Flag mode. Speaking of ranked, please consider helping this new channel rank up in the YouTube algorithm by dropping a like and subscribing for more videos. Now the last playlist is Big Team Battle, which includes Slayer, Capture the Flag, Total Control, and Stockpile. First up in our discussion is the simplest, most straightforward of the game modes, Slayer. This is your standard mode for any PvP shooter, a straight 4v4 deathmatch where your team goal is to reach 50 kills before the enemy. As such, a good kill-death or KD ratio is essential here. Don't just run and gun to get kills, as your deaths are serving to help the enemy team score. A player with 18 kills but 25 deaths is a detriment to the team, as opposed to a player with, say, 12 kills and only 2 deaths. To help your general gameplay and improve that KD ratio, stick around for some tips towards the end of this video. The next game mode is fairly self-explanatory, Capture the Flag, though with a few key things to know here. Your goal is to simultaneously protect your team's flag while also stealing the enemy's. You must pick up the enemy flag from the opposite side of the map and then bring it back to your own flag's location in order to score a point. The first team to reach 3 points wins. Note that you cannot deposit the enemy's flag for a point while the enemy team is in possession of your flag. Your team must first kill an enemy flag carrier and return your flag before you attempt to finish scoring. The flag is returned by standing in the marked circular area around it once it is dropped by the carrier. You cannot fire weapons while holding the flag, so mind your positioning and where your teammates are so they can offer you some protection. If your team would be outnumbered in a gunfight, know that you can drop the flag to shoot and help them out. Just stay in the circular area so the flag won't be returned by your enemy, and pick it up once you've won that fight or cleared a safe escape route. Your KD ratio is not important in this game mode. The scoreboard will show how many captures and returns you have, so stick with your team and play the objective by focusing on the flags. The gunfights and kills will just come naturally. Next up on the quick play list is One Flag Capture the Flag, and this little change offers a nice, fresh feel to the game. Here, each team alternates having a flag at their base, so you only need to focus on either defense or attacking each round as opposed to both at once. As such, a clear strategy here is that the defending team will simply camp around their own flag, so attackers are going to need to hit hard and fast together to get in and out successfully. I think this change makes for a different challenge, and having this extra variety is certainly nice. Our next mode to discuss is Strongholds. In this game type, 3 points, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, will spawn on the map. Your team scores points by capturing and controlling at least 2 of the 3 zones and then holding them, increasing your score for each second you do so. The first team to reach 200 points wins. To capture a zone, simply stand in the lit area around the point until the meter fills completely. Once captured, you can leave the area and the point will still be held by your team until an enemy comes in and is able to stand in the area long enough to steal it from you. Your scoreboard in this mode includes captures, so play the objective by capturing and stealing these control points. The final quick play game mode is Oddball. Certainly the oddest mode of the bunch, especially if you're new to Halo. A single ball, which is a blue flaming skull, will spawn on the map. Points accumulate for every second that the ball is in possession. The first team to reach 100 points wins. As with Capture the Flag, holding the ball leaves you unable to shoot, so you'll need to rely on your team to help defend you, or you'll need to help defend your ball holder. Don't forget that in a pinch, you can drop the ball to help your team out in a gunfight and just pick it back up afterwards. This is better than leaving your team outnumbered, as they're basically down a member while the ball is being held. The scoreboard in this mode includes the time that the ball is carried, but as long as you're preventing your team from dropping or losing the ball by helping the carrier stay alive, you're playing this objective to win. Now remember, Ranked Arena includes these same modes without the One Flag Capture the Flag. Otherwise, it's the same as this quick play playlist that we've just covered. So let's move on to Big Team Battle. Big Team Battle has the same Slayer and Capture the Flag modes as Quick Play, just on a larger scale. More players, bigger maps, and vehicles. Both modes pit teams of 12 against one another in these classic game types. Big Team Battle differs in its other 2 modes, Total Control and Stockpile. So let's discuss those. Big Team Battle's Total Control is similar to Quick Play Strongholds in that 3-point spawn on the map that you want to capture. However, there's a huge crucial difference. You only score if you manage to capture all 3 zones and they're all held together at once. At that point, the zones will disappear briefly before respawning in new locations on the map. First team to manage total control and capture all 3 areas 3 separate times for 3 points wins. The other and final big team battle mode is Stockpile, another 12 versus 12 game. Here, teams will compete with one another by gathering power seeds, basically batteries that spawn around the map, and bring them back to their base to deposit for points. For every 5 collected, you gain 1 point. The first team to 3 points wins. Similar to Capture the Flag and Oddball, you cannot shoot while holding these items, so a fun strategy has developed here in which you continuously run and throw the power seed, freeing you to shoot while you run to pick it up again. Note also that the Razorback vehicle has attachment points for quickly transporting these back to base. Now that we've given you an overview of each game mode currently available to players, let's discuss some general gameplay tips to help you succeed in Halo Infinite, whether you're playing quick play or ranked. Our first tip is the most important. Though all can seriously help your gameplay, this one will make the biggest difference of all on its own in my opinion. That is teamwork and positioning yourself to be a team player. If you run out on your own, you will very often find yourself outnumbered. You may initially get the drop on an enemy only to find another peek out from behind your target or hit you from another angle, taking you out just before you can clean up your kill on that target. Even if you manage to finish them off just before you die, a 1-1 KD ratio is not great. Especially in Slayer, you're just feeding the enemy points as well and not helping to widen your team's lead and win the match. Skilled player will still mostly lose a 1v2 or more even against mediocre players just because their damage output will be so much greater together than yours on your own, even with perfect aim and skill. This is especially true if you don't have a power weapon or are out of grenades. Position yourself to help your team and let them help you. Don't chase after targets away from cover and your team support just for a kill. The best thing you can do is stay alive and together. Let the enemy make the mistake of being overly excited for a kill and take them out as they run after your allies. Having good positioning with your team watching your back will help you be surprised by attacks less often. This also helps you get the drop on and surprising your enemy with that first volley of rounds into their shield, which will help you rack up more kills. Our next tip is all about grenades. Outside of power weapons, they can be a lifesaver in those gunfights where you do find yourself outnumbered. They can be great for multi-kills with their high area-wide damage. More importantly though, you need to think of grenades more strategically. You can use them to control the enemy's movement and deny space. If you pop an enemy's shield and they run behind cover or go to flee down a pathway, hook a grenade in their way. They may run into it, giving you the kill, or now you've denied them their intended escape route, or you force them back out from cover and into the open, whether into your own sights or teammates from another angle to clean up that kill. Also, grenades can be used defensively to try and deny an enemy chasing you when you need to run away from a bad situation. Next up on the list of my top tips is movement. Simply put, make it harder for the enemy to land shots on you and easier for you to hit your intended target. Strafing is a great way to throw off your enemy's aim and make them work harder for their kill. Additionally, you can strafe to make aiming at a moving target easier, as moving side to side also moves your reticle. This means you need to rotate your camera more or less depending on your movement. So make it easy on you and hard on them to keep you in their sights. Also, with regards to movement, and something I believe is vastly understated, is knowing when to charge at your target and just close the distance. A panicked enemy is going to chuck a useless grenade that will bounce right past you as you get in their face and finish the kill with a quick melee, or just keep shooting at them should they decide to run away. So often does charging someone help me avoid that defensive panic grenade and get a melee kill. Another key movement tactic is to not forget crouching, and that pressing crouch while sprinting will cause you to slide, dropping your head and making you a smaller, moving target. This is another great way to throw off an enemy's aim while landing shots of your own. The next tip to keep in mind revolves around Halo Infinite's time to kill, or TTK as you may have seen it. The Spartan's rechargeable shield makes kills take longer than in other games like Call of Duty. Furthermore, with the limited exception of certain precision weapons like the sniper rifle, headshots do not deal extra damage while the enemy shields are up. The shield is a huge majority of that overall time to kill, so headshots are not as important overall in Halo, especially when that shield is active. Know that it takes 2 melee attacks to kill an enemy, and just 1 if the shield has been depleted. If you're up close, melee attacks are great damage, just be careful with your timing as not to miss. Also, to help you improve your time to kill and get more, pay attention to your reticle size when firing certain weapons to help you pace your shots effectively, depending on the distance between you and your target. For example, your pistol can still be effective at range with slower shots. This lets your reticle reset between shots in order to keep the bullet's trajectory on your enemy. A large reticle or spread over a distant small target from rapid firing is likely to miss a hell of a lot. However, when the enemy is close enough, their body will remain filling up that larger reticle, so rapid fire away into them for the most damage. My last tip is for everyone. This game is new, so practice. You may be a pro at Call of Duty Warzone, but this is Halo. Don't get frustrated if you're not amazing here right away. It takes time to adjust and to learn how to play, as well as how other Spartans will react in different situations. Just play more to improve. This will also help you figure out your preferred settings, like sensitivity. You'll learn maps, escape routes, weapon types, their spawn locations, as well as how to use them most effectively, such as weapons that can disable vehicles. And we've had some good news come out since release just a few days ago, guys. While this game has had its problems and complaints like every other, we are still in beta. I myself have personally had difficulty in making cross-platform fire teams between Steam and Xbox. I've also observed, like many others, that we can't filter or be selective with game mode types like choosing Slayer only. This is part of the reason why I made the video. You could be forced into game modes that you're not familiar with or wouldn't even like to play. I think our Halo player community's biggest complaint has been about the Battle Pass's progression, how it works, and how slow it is. The good news is developers are already addressing it and asking for continued player feedback, which I consider a great sign for the game's future. We're also getting a special visor as a thank you if you log in between November 23rd and the 30th. Additionally, you may have noticed the samurai looking armor in the game if you try to customize yours that you can't yet equip. Well, according to developers on Twitter on the 19th, we've got a new event to look forward to next week called Fractured Tenrai, and the photos show this samurai-esque armor. Now, if you've reached the end of this video, tell me in the comments below what you think of a future Battle Royale or BR mode for this game. Would you play only BR, just the traditional game modes, or both? Or just tell me how you feel about Halo BR in general. Along with other games, I do currently intend to focus a lot on Halo Infinite and Final Fantasy XIV's upcoming Endwalker expansion. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to see the future videos. I'd love to do this a lot more, so show your support by dropping a like as well. I'll also link to Patreon and Discord in the description below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.